Alright guys, so today's video is on the brand new SoundPEATS Wings 2. Now this is a sports style earbud, but what makes this pair different, not necessarily because it has the ear hooks, but it is also an open ear design earbud. So it's a lot like Apple's AirPods where it's just kind of sitting in your ears, but it's not blocking your ear canal. So it's essentially designed so that you can do what you need to do and still be very aware of your surroundings. And as far as the price on these, obviously with it being a SoundPEATS product, it comes in at a very low price tag compared to a lot of the other ones because it retails for $39, although right now on Amazon there is a little box to check off to save you a little bit more. It brings it down to only $35. So at $35, if you're just looking for something that you want to listen to music all day, but still be able to carry on your normal day-to-day business or, hear your surroundings while you're running, this may be a very good option. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the sound. We'll talk about what all comes inside the box and see if it's worth that $35 price tag. Now, the earbuds themselves, like I said, it does have the flexible ear hook. It actually flexes out to 210 degrees, so it's got plenty of give to it. The earbuds themselves do use touch controls, and I am happy to say that they give you control over everything right out of the box. So you have your play, your pause, your ability to skip your tracks forward, go backwards, your volume control, and you can also switch it into the gaming or low latency mode that these have. And that's just nice to have if you're going to be using these for watching movies or videos or possibly even gaming, and being able to cut down that lag just makes it much better to use. Now, the case that these come with, I actually really like the design. They decided to put their logo kind of off to the side. It has a really nice grip to it, and it also has a silicone like little loop at the end. So it's very easy to grip or attach it to things, and I think that's very convenient, especially for something that's made to be used at the gym or while running. It's nice that you can attach it to your bag, and that way it can just stay with you a little bit easier. Now, the earbuds themselves, they have large 13mm drivers, and they actually have to have drivers this large because of their design. They need to get loud enough, but they also need to produce enough bass and things like that to be able to compete with all of your surroundings. Now, as far as some of the technology, it is using Bluetooth 5.3, so matching that with the gaming mode just, again, makes this an excellent pair to use with media because you just don't really have to worry about lag. Now, as far as Bluetooth codecs, it is only supporting AAC and SBC, so there's no high-end Bluetooth codecs here, but on an open ear style earbud, I really wouldn't expect that anyway. Now, if you are going to use these outdoors, which I do believe most people will, it comes in with an IPX4 rating, which I would have definitely liked to have seen these rated higher, simply because a sports style earbud is going to be more exposed to your surroundings. So IPX4 is going to be fine against rain, sweat, and things like that. It's just not going to be good if you accidentally drop them into water. Now, another thing about these, and I actually didn't expect this to happen, is these do work with SoundPEATS App. Now, SoundPEATS App is basically a bare bones app. It's not going to give you a lot of these over-the-top features that you're going to get with much more expensive brands, but it does allow you to keep these updated. There are some EQ options you can switch between. You can even go in and customize the EQ settings you want, but I do think that the signature or SoundPEATS EQ that they have out of the box is going to be the best for most people. I really didn't feel the need to tweak these too much, but some other things is you can switch it into that gaming mode like we talked about earlier, and you can also disable your touch control. So if you're going to be somewhere where you're feeling like you're going to need to adjust your earbuds a little bit, disabling touch controls means you're not going to accidentally have it skip a track or pause when all you're trying to do is just adjust your earbud. Now, as far as what all they're including in the box, this is super simple because these don't use ear tips. You don't have to worry about that. And the only thing in the box is a USB-C cable. But you are going to have to use this cable because there's no Qi wireless charging on the case, which I would have liked to have seen. And there's no fast charging on these either. But the battery life you are getting is fairly impressive in my opinion, because on a single charge, you're going to get 8 hours on the earbuds and you're going to get about 30 hours using the case. So 8 hours is going to get most people through a normal day, and that 30 hours total with the case means you're not going to really have to charge these that often. Now, if you are going to use these for taking phone calls, I feel like SoundPEATS, again, did a very good job with the microphones. It picked up my voice very well, and it also did a really good job of blocking out my surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Wings2, and overall, again, I think it picks up my voice very well. It does have a little bit of a digital sound to it, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because the 13mm drivers that I mentioned earlier, again, they are powerful and they're loud, but that is by design. It just kind of has to be. Any earbud that has an open ear style design is always going to be competing with your surroundings. If you're out running and you have traffic going by, which you obviously want to hear, you don't want that to be able to drown out or affect what you're listening to. So these drivers get plenty loud. Now the bass on these is going to be different than most earbuds because the bass I felt like was pretty powerful, but it's only bass that you can hear. It's not really bass you can feel. So you're not going to feel that like subwoofer type rumble. It's not going to give you that effect. And again, it's just simply because you do not have your ear canals blocked, or you don't have an ear tip that's sealing that off, which is normally how you feel the impact of bass. So do keep that in mind if that's something you're not used to. The bass is nice and punchy, but it is not overbearing or overpowerful because it's just not capable of doing that because of this design. Now the mids and the treble, on the other hand, are completely a different story because it's nice and detailed. The treble's not overly bright or anything like that, but this pair does an excellent job with vocals and dialogue. So no matter what genre I was listening to, I can hear male and female vocalists clearly. And the treble, I had never had any issue hearing, again, no matter what genre I was listening to. So if you're listening to movies or watching videos or podcasts, you are not going to have any issues with hearing dialogue. And same thing, no matter what you're listening to music-wise, you're always going to hear vocalists. It doesn't have that, muddy sound or compressed sound, in my opinion. And another thing to point out is the soundstage and the sound imaging is also very good on this pair. But again, that's by design. It is an open ear style design, which means it sounds much more open than normal earbuds. So it sounds like you're in a very large room, and being able to tell where sounds are coming from, this pair has no issues with. So breaking it down and grading it based off the different genres that most people listen to, if you listen to mainly pop and hip hop, I would only give these a 7. And I think that's because most people, if that's what they're listening to, are used to feeling the impact of bass, which these are not going to deliver. But if you listen to rock and metal, this pair is very fast and can definitely keep up with more chaotic genres. So I give it a solid 8 here. And for easy listening, again, because this is a pair that does a very good job with vocals, I gave it an 8. And for media, because of the Bluetooth 5.3 and because of the gaming and low latency mode, I gave it a 9 because I didn't have any kind of issues with lag, and vocalists and dialogue and all stood out just extremely nicely. So it brings my overall rating on these to an 8, which again, I think is an excellent value for what all you're getting from SoundPEATS. And really the only things that I feel like you're lacking with this pair, and this has kind of become a theme lately, you don't get Qi wireless charging, there's no fast charging, which again, I've just gotten kind of used to with other pairs. But what you are getting is just a pair that you can use in a bunch of situations because of its design. It's a pair that you can go to the gym, you can go running, you can ride your bike, you can just use at work, and that open ear style design allows you to just hear the people at work or hear your surroundings. And I feel like having the app and that low latency mode, you're getting some extra features you wouldn't necessarily expect in this price range. And then the sound overall, again, because of the design, it sounds, in my opinion, a lot like Apple's AirPods, which is a similar style design. It's not sealing off your ear canals and you're able to kind of hear your surroundings. It's very similar to those, but you can tell that the price tag is much lower than a pair of AirPods. So I do feel like there's a lot of value in this product. I can see a lot of people using something like this in a bunch of situations. So yeah, this is again another easy product to recommend because of its value. And then that's something we've kind of gotten used to with SoundPEATS products. But guys, that's my video on the brand new SoundPEATS Wings 2. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.